Buy cheap and safe NBA 2K22 MT at NBA2King.com. You can use code Excapar, that's EXCAPAR, for 5% off your entire purchase. Alright, so with all of these wonderful new playoff push cards, I figured there's going to be a lot of people wondering the best ways to badge them up. So I've gone ahead and picked out the best badges to add to each one of these new playoff push cards, including Jayson Tatum. So if you guys are excited, the like button's down below and comment what you guys think as we do throughout the video as well. Subscribe if you guys are new. Now, if you guys are wondering, the best way to badge up all of these beast cards, Giannis, AD, John Morant, LaMelo, Kristaps Porzingis, that video is actually already out on the channel. Link in the description down below. Check it out after this one and have a good time. And for this playoff push one, what I decided to do is only pick out the one amethyst I think that a lot of people are going to be, interested in badging up, and that is Thaddeus Young. And then everybody else, sorry, they got the short end of the stick. And that's not to say, like, Terrence Mann is actually a hooper. Trevor Reeves is pretty good too. But I think Thaddeus Young is going to be the card that most people are going to be, using on their squads for a long time. So that's going to be the card that I guess I'm focusing on instead. So for Thad Young, I thought this one was pretty easy. Add a sniper onto him because we have the D-Wade base, really capitalize on how good that can be. And then I wanted to give him a quick first step just so we're a little bit shiftier. We already have downhill, so quick first step is going to go along with it pretty well. And then rebound chaser because he's going to be playing our 3 and our 4. We want to get a little bit of boards. And then pick dodger because I've just run into a lot of people who are running offense through like LeBron or KD who are playing their small forwards. And in anticipation of that, I want to make sure Thaddeus Young is getting through those screens and playing that defense as well as he can. And also, I wanted to have posterizer, but I couldn't add that, which was a little bit tough. Next up, we got my man Artis Gilmore, who is a menace when it comes to just playing defense. And I think with Artis Gilmore, I think the first badge you got to add is rebound chaser. I mean, he's our center and doesn't have rebound chaser. I mean, come on. And then clamps, just so we can play the perimeter a little bit better, out there just in case. And then there are some other badges you could add to really make him great. Like catch and shoot actually could be a really nice badge to Artis Gilmore because he does have an 87 midi. Obviously, most of us think about catch and shoot, helping us from the 3-point line, but from the mid-range, that really can help Artis. But I think the best way actually to go with him is give him unstrippable because that'll help us, not lose the ball, getting, it poked out of our hands. We're going for those drop steps, hook shots, anything like that. Fast twitch, so we can get those off a little bit faster. And then Stillery finisher, just because it helps us avoid some of those, crazy defensive, centers down to the paint and get those layups off a little bit easier. But you could set out Stillery for a catch and shoot if you like to at least semi pick and pop with Artis and take those mid ranges because he is a menace from the mid range. So there is that. Next up, my man Byron Scott, jump shot 22, the quick dribble style, and just an all-around absolute demon who is super fun to use. And I think with Byron Scott, the first thing you got to do is give him posterizer because we do have an 80 driving dunk, and that we obviously got to get those, those posters a little bit better. But just have some fun. One defensive badge I think is going to be Intimidator just to help him out a little bit. I would say add Brick Wall, but he doesn't have the ability to do that, so yeah, And because Diamonds can get 5 badges, we've got 3 more to pick here. And I think the ones that make the most sense for Byron, because he's probably going to be playing that point guard position, are probably going to be Hyperdrive, Handle for Days, and Quick Chain to use that quick dribble style and get those dribbling moves off a little bit more. Just because I don't think Chef will be insanely helpful. He's already a good shooter. And Dimer, let's be honest, it's pretty easy to green this year, no matter the case. So I don't think Dimer really helps out too much. So I think Hyperdrive, Handles for Days, and Quick Chain to really make his dribbling moves feel amazing. And I think your Byron Scott is actually going to be a pretty shifty, fun card to use if you add all those badges to him. Next, we got my man Joe Smith, who is usually a great all-around card. And the first badge you should add to him is Catch and Shoot because he does have a 77 shot 3 and an 87 midi. Also has Jump Shot 22 with the Hall of Fame set shooter, mixed that with Catch and Shoot. And he's actually going to be a pretty solid finisher, I think. And then, because he is our small forward, I think we should just go all defense. Give him a Clamps, give him Brick Wall, give him Menace, and give him Rim Protector. Clamps, obviously, just stay on the perimeter a little bit better. Brick Wall, because we can set screens, we can limit backdowns, and all that wonderful stuff. Menace, because, yes, it doesn't activate, when you're inside the paint, but getting, lower badging, lowering your opponent's badges and their stats when you're out on the perimeter, especially against guys like KD and LeBron when you're closing out, really going to help. And then Rim Protector, because we have an 85 block and a 7-foot wingspan. Why wouldn't we want Rim Protector out there? Next, Otto Porter. Actually kind of a demon. Posterizer. First off, I mean, come on. Posterizer. He's 6'8", and it's a 75 driving dunk. It's just going to help us, get those finishes that we want a little bit better, and just help it out all out. And then I think because you already get kind of, I guess, a 3-and-D vibe from Otto Porter, He doesn't really have the defense this year, but I think what you should do is add it to him, give him a clamps, that way he can shoot it a little bit better. Rim protector, because he does have a, a 72 block, he has a 7'1" wingspan as well. Then interceptor and intimidator. Interceptors, we can snag those passes, and intimidator, just so we play that better defense out on the perimeter, and it's going to be pretty easy. Rim protector, intimidator, interceptor, clamps, and whatever the hell last one was, posterizer, and I think you'll have yourself a pretty decent, nice 3-and-D Otto Porter who can still finish it bit. Next is who is arguably the best card out of all these playoff push ones. If there was one that you should hunt for, it's going to be this Larry Hughes. This guy's a demon because he's 6'5", 6'8" wingspan, can play the point guard position, has jump shot 84, on it quick, which is the same jumper as freaking Korkmaz, or Emmanuel Quickly, Tyrese Maxey, Evan Mobley, really good jumper. And then has a shifty dribble style with this IT signature combo, and it is clutch. It also has 80 contest shot tendency, which is nice. So the first thing we need to do is add posterizer and sniper, because we have a 75 driving dunk and an 84 shot 3, and we don't have the two biggest badges to help us out with those. So I think doing that really gonna help out your Larry Hughes just be a little bit better. And then the next thing is Deadeye, because jump shot 84 is a good jumper. It is on quick, but it's still a little bit slow. So we just want to make sure we have that as good as we possibly can get it for our shooting ability, and I think we'll be okay with that. Larry Hughes isn't going to be a guy who you're going for the limitless spot up shots for chef shots or anything like that. You just want to take the threes you can get when you're open, attack the basketball, play make, and play good defense. So on top of that, with the defensive stuff that we're going to be adding here, after we do all those badges, we are going to add a wonderful brick wall onto him. That way he isn't getting pumped as much. And I looked at the other badges and didn't really think they'd be too helpful. Like 75 block with a 6'8" wingspan and rim protector could be nice. But I think the last badge that makes the most sense is probably giving him Giant Slayer, because he is 6'5". He's probably going to go against a lot of players that are taller than him, especially with Yao out on the court now, and Porzingis when he's going to the paint. So I think posterizer, Giant Slayer, sniper, Deadeye, and brick wall, and you are going to have yourself a crazy good Larry Hughes. Next up is a point guard that really isn't as good as Larry Hughes, but he's out here in Jose Calderon, 6'3", and with Calderon we got to add sniper. I mean, his main thing is that he got a 90 shot 3, he's a great shooter and playmaker, and then doesn't have sniper. Yeah, I don't make the rules, I just get annoyed at him. And then we're going to add a limitless spot up and a Deadeye, just so we can shoot a little bit better out there. And then, obviously, brick wall, because we are undersized point guard and we don't want to get back down as much, along with clamps. Now, you could take away a Deadeye and add a quick first step to him as well. I personally don't think you're going to go out there and cheese too much with him. He does have the shifty dribble style, though, so you can if you want to. What is it? Sniper, Deadeye, quick first step, clamps, and brick wall. Actually, I'm tripping. I had them all. Brick wall and clamps is 2, quick first step is 3, and Deadeye and sniper is 5. Never mind. I'm good. I had my counting wrong. Anyway, that's how you badge up your Calderon. Jayson Kidd is an interesting one because, I mean, he literally can do everything. He just has a really bad jumper. So to negate that a little bit, we're going to give him sniper and Deadeye. Sniper, obviously, so we can shoot a little bit better. Because his jumper is so slow, I think Deadeye is almost like a must-have on a Jayson Kidd card, because it lowers those late closeouts. It just lowers how much the closeouts mean in general. So I think that'll really help him out. And then, because we are a Jayson Kidd card, having something like a brick wall could really help, as well as like a post move lockdown, so we stop anybody from popping us down in the paint. And then, because there was one more badge that I could add and I wasn't sure what it was going to be, I decided to say we should add blinders to him, just because we have Deadeye, so I think blinders will help as well. Those side contests and things like that to really just help out how Jayson Kidd can play in general, because the Kidd jumper isn't horrible, it's not great. Next up is my man Steven Jackson. It was a super fun card. I almost did a gameplay on him yesterday, but I decided to just go and make dinner instead. I apologize. But he's a really great card. So first thing you got to do is add a sniper to our man Steven Jackson. It just helps him out so much. It just being an all-around really good forward that can cheese, because he has the really great jumper and the quick dribble style, so we want to be able to shoot real well. And then we're going to add one badge when it comes to defense, and that is going to be rim protector, because he has a 79 block and a 6'9" wingspan. I think it's going to be pretty OP there. And then, because he does have that quick dribble style and can play make really well, I decided a quick first step, hyperdrive, and quick chain are probably the best trio to add there, along with the sniper, so we can be just an absolutely insane playmaking and shooting, small forward that can essentially be our secondary ball handler out there, while still having good defense and pretty solid finishing. And I think your Steven Jackson is going to look crazy once you do that. Next up is my man Marcus Camby, who I know most people probably aren't too looking to badge out, so I'll keep this one quick. Posterizer, just so we can duck on some people and have some fun there, along with Auxiliary Finisher to negate some of those closeouts. And because we're already a good defender, we're just going to go up into the shooting with catch and shoot, because he does have a 63 shot 3. Set shooter, just to help out a little bit, in corner specialist, so we have a better shot at hitting some of those corner threes with Marcus Camby. And because we have, you know, catch and shoot and set shooter, it'll help out that mid-range of the 79 just be a little bit better. Next up is my man, not Andrew Bogut, Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson, who is essentially a Glenn Rice that plays the small forward, and is a pretty fun card. You should start it off with adding a sniper to him. Again, any card that doesn't have sniper, you got to add it. And Deadeye, because although jump shot 13 is a pretty decent jumper, it is a little bit easy to contest and bait out. So Deadeye will just, you know, help negate that just a little bit. It's a great badge. That combo of sniper and Deadeye, it is absolutely beautiful. And then because he's going to be a shooter and slasher and doesn't have, you know, glue hands, we got to add that. Because even if you're somebody who's only running pick and rolls, glue hands helps you get those, you know, catches on the roll guide that won't, you know, drop and fumble the ball or anything like that. So glue hands is really a card that you want on everybody. So we got to add that because he's going to be a shooter, probably a slasher, setting some screens. So yeah, that's definitely going to help him a little bit. And then if you wanted to, clamps, because, you know, why not, to help it a little bit. You could add a rim protector and things like that as well to help it out. But I think, yeah, a rim protector probably be the best. A sniper, a Deadeye, clamps, rim protector for 4 of our badges. And the last one, he kind of can just jump around a little bit for. Oh wait, no, I said glue hands. I'm not jumping around with it. It's glue hands. I'm tripping. I forgot that it was glue hands. Yeah, glue hands. What is it? Clamps, rim protector, sniper, and Deadeye, and boom, you got yourself a good Larry Johnson. Next up, Andrew Bogut. This was a really, I don't know, just awkward one for me to try to like pick out, because I mean, it's Andrew Bogut. A lot of people probably aren't using it, but if you are, posterizer at first, 90 standing dunk with posterizer is going to be absolutely godly, along with fast twitch, because we got to get those shots off as fast as possible. And then Auxiliary Finisher and unstrippable, so we can finish past some of those good defenders, and we don't get stripped as much. And then I decided to catch and shoot because he does have a 70 midi, and I think it can help him a little bit. And he'll just knock down some of those minis, especially from this like little left corner midi. I think it'd be pretty nice in general for Bogut. Last but not least, for our diamonds, we have Seth Hawkins, who can be a great card. Posterizer, it would be nice if he didn't have a 55 shot 3. You know, that kind of kills it. But the first one that you always have to add on to shorter guys is going to be Brick Wall, because we are a 6'3" point guard. It helps to limit those back downs. If we go against a Penny, we don't want them to just pop us in the paint, because that's probably what Penny's going to do if they go against us. And then something like Intimidator, so we can have a little bit better contest against those guys that are trying to pop us down into the paint. Just helps a little bit. And then the signature of Hyperdrive and a Quick Chain together, because it's always super fun. And then also Handles for Days, because yes, with the base dribble style, but he's your point guard, so he's going to be dribbling a little bit. So we want to just move those effectiveness, make it quicker so we can get those combos together, and then lower how much those are taking during the stamina. Seth Hawkins is amazing, but he's a solid little PG. Next up is our man ZboZ Randolph, just an absolute demon. And Randolph, this was again a really easy one for me that I just don't think is takes too much consideration, honestly. Give him a posterizer and a fast twitch, 2 of the best badges for big men. Get those posterizer with that 80 standing dunk and fast twitch, just throw those layups up real nice. Sniper, we already have catch and shoot. We want to make our shooting a little bit better, and we have an 86 shot midi. And Randolph's jumper actually is not bad. So I think those together can really be great, along with a Deadeye, because while his jumper isn't bad, it is a little slow, so we want to make sure we can get that off a little bit better. And then adding a clamps, because you probably are going to be running him as like maybe a power forward, and help, you know, guard some of those guys out on the perimeter. And then once they get to the paint, you can just send it away into the stands. Zebo is definitely a really fun card. I highly recommend you try him out. And then next up, we have the best pink diamond right now out of these Hunt for Glory. This should be the card that you definitely go out of your way to get. And the first badge you got to add to him is definitely going to be Sniper. Obviously, with deandre Ayton, his jumper is really easy to time. I was having a good time greening it in the gameplay yesterday, but we want to make sure we just have a better chance. So Sniper's going to be a badge out there. I would love if we could have Deadeye, but I think Limitless Spot Up will be an okay alternative, just so we can shoot a little bit deeper. And I didn't love any of the finishing badges, really, that we could add to them, or the defensive ones too much, if I'm being 100% honest. So I decided that Auxiliary Finisher would be the next one that I would do, just because I think it would help us, you know, get around some of those other great defenders when we're going to the basket. And then the last 2 are going to be in playmaking, which sounds a little weird, but Bullet Passer, because that just increases the speed that our passes go at. So obviously we want to pass as fast as we can, especially with a center, get that out there if we're, you know, possibly getting it 3 seconds. And then I want to add glue hands, because we talked about it earlier. It just gives you more favorable catch animations on the pick and roll and on the fast break. You know, when you catch and shoot in threes in the corner, glue hands Absolutely amazing, one of the best badges in the game, and trust me, once you put it on Ayton, you will realize why it is such a good and highly recommended badge, especially by myself. Next up, we have our man Gordon Hayward, nice 6'8" all-around forward. And Gordon Hayward, I think it makes a lot of sense to just badge up playmaking and defense, just because. Just because. We already have quick first step, but we don't have downhill, so I think that'll be nice to add, as well as hyper drop and handles for days, because, well, he's not going to be having the ball in his hands every single possession. He's probably going to have it in there a decent bit, so we'll just use those effectiveness, boost that up of the dribble moves off the move, and then handles per day, so we lower how much, those are taken stamina-wise. And then brick wall and rim protector. Rim protector, we got an 80 block, we got a 6'7" wingspan, and then, brick wall because he's playing our small forward. Sometimes, and we want to just make sure he doesn't get back down as much against LeBron, and can set some screens if he is playing that small forward every now and then in some plays, so it just helps out a little bit. Next up is our undersized king in Tim Hardaway, nice 6-foot PG, and he's actually a pretty good card all around. Now you can't add brick wall, so there's really nothing too exciting to add in defense, but you're going to want to add a sniper onto him, a deadeye, and a limitless spot up. I mean, come on, it's becoming a little bit easy to predict, as well as blinders. I think actually all the badges should be in defense. Sniper, deadeye, blinders, limitless spot up, and then hot zone hunter, because, well, he doesn't have these two wing hot zones. He does have this middle hot zone, which is, if you're running screens, going to be one of the more common places that you're going to be taking 3-point shots in, especially if you start it at the wing. You can run towards the middle and abuse using that hot zone hunter to really give yourself the best chance of winning and making those shots. So that's my personal way to go, because Tim Hardaway is a pretty good slasher, although he can't dunk. Already can play make insanely, and is a good defender on the perimeter. And because you can't add brick wall, I just think it makes sense to just add everything into his shooting and just boost that up. Next up is my man Ben Gordon, who looks to be a pretty solid all-around guy who can also play the point guard, and has already good playmaking. So really, it was just kind of, what can we add to him just to make him a little bit better? The first, posterizer, 75 driving dunk. We don't have posterizer, boom, easy, throw it on him. Next, we're playing on the perimeter. Brick wall, menace. We don't want to go against a Penny Hardaway and get pumped in the paint, so brick wall is going out there. And menace, just because it lowers the stats and the badges of the guys that we're guarding out there on the perimeter, which is always going to be great. And the last two I decided, just to make it a little bit better, add a green machine. It helps us on those consecutive greens in a row, and set shooter, because, if we're standing still, we shoot better. And he's got jump shot 22 on quick with the quick dribble style. It's going to be pretty nice. And the last but not least for our pink diamonds, and our second to last card actually, is Brook Lopez. Now, Brook Lopez is 7 foot with a 7'5" wingspan, and is meant to be kind of like a 3-and-D center, but there are still some things we can add to make it a little bit better, like Deadeye, really the only badge that he's missing that I think he needs unshooting, and it's really going to make a difference. And then Posterizer and Fast Twitch. I talk about them a lot. Fast Twitch is great. Posterizer is great. These are just two really good badges to add to your card in general. And then I decided Silly Finisher as well, just to make him a little bit better at finishing at the basket, especially if you do some drop steps, you got to get test, you got to get around. It can really help out there. And then Clamps, just in case Brook Lopez gets out there on the perimeter. He is slow, but you don't want him to be clueless out there just getting his ankle snapped. So Clamps can help just a little bit on Brook Lopez. I think once you do that, he's pretty great, although I still would take Ayton over him. And then last but not least is the man probably most of you guys came here to look at, and it's Jayson Tatum. Now Tatum, I thought this was a really easy one for me to pick out, because Tatum is already a good shooter but doesn't have chef. Boom. Add it. He's a great playmaker. Doesn't have downhill. Boom. Add it. Oh yeah, and quick chain. Boom. Add it. Like, we're just going to make Tatum better. And then when it comes to defense, he doesn't have brick wall and he doesn't have rim protector, and he's playing our power forward, small forward with an 80 block. Boom, add that in brick wall, because if we run him with the power forward, he can set our screens really well. He doesn't get back down really at all, and he's looking all great. And then for that last badge, I think you can pick between drop stepper if you're going to be drop stepping a lot, or maybe back down punisher, ankle breaker, or box. My personal pick for the last badge is box, just because I think whenever I get this Tatum, I'm going to be playing him at maybe the 4, or possibly going against Carmelo. And I think just having his possibility of helping box out some other guys so we can get rebounds with our centers, I think could be, definitely pretty nice and pretty useful, especially if you plan on running him at that power forward. So that'd be my personal pick for Jayson Tatum. Rim protector, brick wall, box, downhill, quick chain, and chef for his 6 badges, just to absolutely cook it up. So that is my recommendations for badging out every single one of the new playoff push cards out there. They are absolute demons. All of them are super, super fun. Now, we haven't covered Gary Payton. I probably won't cover Gary Payton because almost none of you guys are probably going to have him. But for future reference, if you do want to know how to badge up Gary Payton, give him a brick wall, give him a rim protector, give him that posterizer because he does have an 80, and then probably like Limitless, Spot Up, and Chef. That's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can add one more on him if you want to, and boom, blinders. Easy peasy. That's if you can add 6 to Dark Matters. If you can add a 7th one, a possibility, you kind of can just pick what you want, to be honest. It's all going to work out pretty fine for Gary Payton, if we're being honest. Like, he's a good card in general, so it really won't be too big of a deal, but maybe like a Circus 3 just to have some fun. So there you go. Like the video if you guys did enjoy. Comment down below what you guys think of these budget videos. If you guys want to see more of them in the future, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are new to the channel, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and make sure you check out the Beasts budget video in the link in the description down below. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.